Testing 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day because I have my favorite person here with me, my beautiful husband, Lee.
Aloha, everybody. Blessings.
Don't you love him already? He's the best. So why are we here, babe?
We're here to celebrate our 7-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We got married on the 22nd of December.
Okay.
Supposed to be the longest day of the year. It's how we party.
That's exactly how we party. So 2017 was when we got married, and it was a beautiful day, but it was even more of an amazing journey because I said to Lee, I want to have a sustainable wedding. And he was like, what does that mean? And I said, I actually don't know, but let's figure it out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we did pretty well.
We did really well. And
Yeah.
we kind of like figured it out as we went. And we were just like, okay, if anything stresses us out, then it's out. We're not doing it, right?
Yeah. And we were minimal
Yeah.
spending, I think. We were pretty planned everything down to the core.
We did because we wanted it to be a celebration. We wanted it to be fun. We didn't want it to be stressful. You know how people say all the time, oh, you're getting married, you must be so stressed. We just weren't. And anything that was giving us stress, we just got rid of it. So we thought for this video, we would talk you through some tips on how we had a sustainable wedding and the things that we learned.
We wanted to be us.
Yeah.
Suits our personality. We wanted a beach wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, do it the way we do it. Change the pattern.
Yeah, change the pattern. Get out of the wedding matrix of you need all this fancy stuff. You need, to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, whatever it may be. It still cost us money, but we didn't go into debt for it. We had the money put aside, we'd saved. And so, yeah, we kind of broke all those codes of like what you think you should do. And also because we were learning as we went with the whole sustainability thing, we just kind of surrendered to the process. So, yeah, we've got 5 tips to share with you today on how to have a sustainable wedding. But before we get to that, I guess we should probably tell them how we met because I feel like they might want to know
that. Maybe.
that.
They're lucky. Well, we met through a special friend.
We did.
He was actually a hairdresser, but he's been hanging around where I work. I do security at many venues.
Yep.
But that's how we met. We got introduced by this special person on one night, and I just came off a spiritual retreat.
Yeah.
And I think it was just divine timing. Everything in alignment. I think that's how special connection and love is. You can't force them; they just happen naturally.
So true.
And also divine orchestrated, I guess. And that's how we met.
It was a time for me too where I was kind of going through my own spiritual journey, I guess, in a sense, because I'd had a lot of bad luck with love. And I was just taking a real sabbatical from any kind of relationship. I just wasn't interested. And my friend Damien was like, you have to meet this guy. He's the boy version of you. And I just kept saying, no, I'm happy by myself. I don't want to meet anyone. It's all good. If I'm by myself forever, I'm okay. But he just kept at me. He was like, I'm telling you, don't you trust me? I'm your hairdresser. You have to meet this guy. And so I finally surrendered. And I'm so glad I did because now he's my husband. So at our wedding, I didn't throw the bouquet. I gave it to Damien and like made a little speech about how we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Oh, getting emotional. But yeah, it was just like you said, divine timing. Yeah.
Yep.
And Lee said the coolest thing to me. He was like, what are you doing tomorrow? Do you want to go for a walk?
Yep.
And I was like, okay. Yeah, I think I do want to go for a walk. So he said, okay, I'll call you the next day at 3 o'clock. And I thought, yeah, right. He won't call. But he did on the dot. And yeah, you just kept showing up and being a legend. So here we are. But anyway, that's enough of that sobby stuff. Let's get into 5 tips and what we learned from having a sustainable wedding. So if you are getting married, we would highly recommend putting some mindfulness around it, because weddings are such a wasteful event.
And stressful.
Yeah, and they really shouldn't be. They should be a celebration of love and your union and your friends and your family. And so, yeah, we've learned a lot, so we thought we'd share.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Stupid.
There you call him stupid.
All
right, so we've got 5 tips today and probably a few little extra bonus ones. But the first one we wanted to talk about was lean into your community.
Yep.
So for that, we thought about, who do we know? Who's around us in terms of friends, family, and how could they contribute and be a part of the wedding, which then maybe their contribution could become their gift. So that really cut out a lot of unnecessary spend for us.
Yep.
Like one of my besties, Adrian, his sister Simone, you would have seen her on my channel. He had a really nice car and he offered to drive my father and I to the wedding. And then what did you guys do?
We were Ubering.
That's right. They got Ubers. So, because we looked at cars and we looked at hiring vintage cars, and oh my gosh, it was so expensive. So we just thought,
unnecessary worries, eh?
Unnecessary worries. And it just, and having Adrian drive me was so nice. And he's so cute. He put this little like care package in the back of his car that had tissues. It had a photo of him and I. It had a photo of my dad and I. He had feathers in there because I love feathers. He had a photo of Lee and I, like, and champagne, like, just so thoughtful. And then who else did we lean into?
Arnie,
Yes.
singing.
So you've seen Arnie on the channel as well. So Arnie is a fantastic singer. So he sang as I walked down the aisle. And then he also DJ'd for the party.
That's right.
Which was such a vibe.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Absolutely. Our friend Donnie was the MC because he has a lot of experience in, public speaking and being on telly and all that stuff. So he did the MCing.
Another friend of me is a photographer.
That's right. Brian took the photos. That was his gift. So that was a huge saving as well. And the photos are just gorgeous. Obviously, throughout this video, you'll see some. I'll insert some photos. They're just beautiful. Our favorite photo was actually one that Donnie took. Just on his iPhone. It was just such a beautiful photo. But and then our friend Fernando has an events company. So Fernando came with us when we were looking at venues.
That's right. And
he helped us sift through a lot of the BS because as soon as you say wedding, the price goes up. So he just really helped us kind of navigate that. So that was really helpful. What else? My friend, who I had just met, was a sustainable wedding dress designer. I mean, what are the odds? So she very kindly offered to make my dress, and I'll get to that point soon about the dress and how we did that sustainably. But that was another great one. I had some friends from doing work on TV that helped me with my hair and makeup.
Sure.
Gosh, we leaned into so many people, didn't we? So there was lots of people in the community, in our community and around us that could help. So if you're getting married, I really encourage you to sit down and think about that first before you go into I've got to get a wedding planner, I've got to hire all these professionals and do all this and that. Like, I mean, if you've got an unlimited budget, sure, go for it. But this was looking so expensive for us. So that was a huge saving.
Tip number 2.
Lighten the load. So what do we mean by that? Lighten the load.
Well, lighten the load is taking off stuff that not necessarily need to be there.
Yeah.
Like lighten your back. You pull out heavy stuff, throw it away.
Yeah.
So your back feels lighter.
It's true. So what we did was we sat down and we looked at the things that we thought we needed, like the cars, like the big venue, all that stuff. And we were just like, is that really necessary? Are people going to remember that? Like, are we
Mm.
going to remember that? Is that going to enhance, the love that we have for each other? Like, no. So just get rid of it. So we kind of got a bit brutal, didn't we?
Mm.
But it was the best thing because once we did that, all the stress was just gone.
Mm.
And people would say to me, "You're getting married. How come you're not stressed?" I'm like, "Because I just refuse to be stressed. Like, a wedding shouldn't be stressful. That's not what it's about. Like,
Yeah.
you're missing the point." So it just really helped us to slow down
Mm.
and to really embody that concept of a sustainable wedding, even though we didn't really know what it was yet.
True.
We were just figuring it out as we went. But we just really, yeah, we did. We just got rid of anything that was unnecessary and that stressed us out.
Mm.
But then we thought about how we could lighten the load from an environmental perspective as well.
Yep.
So I did a lot of thinking with that, with the reception, and I made sure that we didn't have any plastic waste.
Mm.
So everything was like the food came around in little reusable bamboo, like cups and platters.
Yep.
And we didn't even have straws, did we? No,
Mm-mm.
I don't think we even had paper straws. We just
Yeah.
didn't have straws. Um, the napkins were reusable and washable.
Mm.
We didn't have any plastic cups.
Yeah, was it not a traditional sitting down reception?
That's right.
We were more among each other, more for socializing. Yeah? It was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was definitely more like a party. So and
Mm.
we really got to kind of connect with everybody and didn't feel, I guess, sort of distanced from them because we were sitting at a table. Not to say that there's anything wrong with having a wedding sitting at a table, but
Mm.
we just kind of wanted it to be fun.
Different,
Yeah,
different from the normal matrix of weddings.
that's right. We did have some random try to crash it though, didn't we?
Mm.
Remember that?
Yep.
We were like, "Who's this guy?"
Mm.
So
Yeah.
funny. So we got married in this beautiful rotunda overlooking the ocean,
Yeah.
in Sydney. So that was definitely a nod to Lee's culture as well because he's such an ocean man.
Yeah.
So we wanted to overlook the water,
By the ocean.
and then we got on a boat. That was the venue gave us the boat for free as a gift, to transport the bridal party across to the venue, which was the wedding ceremony was in Balmoral,
Yeah.
and then the reception was in
Manly Skiff Club.
Manly Skiff Club.
The oldest sailing club, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So we hired the back of it out, and it's literally on the water, like
Yeah.
divine, as the sun was setting.
Mm.
And where we spent our money was on really nice, food for everybody, really nice drinks,
Yeah.
like the best we could afford, like
Yeah.
beautiful champagne, because we wanted it to be that nice elevated
Mm.
experience for everybody. But
Like a cocktail party.
yeah, it was.
Mm.
But even with that, we made sure that there was just minimal, if like no waste,
Mm.
for sure. And then that kind of leads us into the next point, which is kind of more on that waste
Yeah.
side of things.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, you got your crystal there. What's that one? Clear quartz? Oh no, Lemurian.
Lemurian. Divine love.
Oh, that's perfect.
Divine pure love from a higher place.
Are you ready for point number 3?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so tip number 3 to have a sustainable wedding is to look to nature. So I don't know if you've heard about slow flowers, but they're a thing. And I didn't know this until we started planning our wedding.
Sure.
So I'd already gone down the road of thinking that I needed all the flowers. And I love flowers, but it was looking really expensive. And just again by luck, I happened to meet a slow florist. And I was like, what is a slow florist? So, a slow florist is someone who really leans into nature to
Mm.
create arrangements, things for weddings, using locally grown and locally sourced flowers, but also, in our case, using things like crystals and feathers and things that you can keep, and really adding character to the bouquets. So the thing with traditional flowers, particularly lots of roses and things, they're actually flown from overseas. So not only is that a big carbon footprint, but to preserve the flowers, they have to put chemicals on the flowers. So that's not great for the environment either. So it's just so unnecessary to be flying these flowers from the other side of the world just for visuals and aesthetics, when where you are, you would have beautiful local,
Mm.
greenery and flowers. I mean, in Australia, we're so blessed. We have absolutely beautiful flora. And so our florist was amazing. She lives on a farm and she had so much of the produce already there. And then what she didn't, she
Mm.
sourced for me locally. And a lot of it was just cut straight from the source instead of being flown and
Mm.
transported anywhere. And same as I forget what the things are that the guys have on their pockets, but you guys had, like, that was all locally grown as well.
Yeah.
Lee had crystals in his. And the cool thing about the flowers, my bouquet, for example, which you can see on the screen now, was I could keep some of the aspects of that bouquet. And so I wanted to show you. This was actually in my
Mm.
bouquet, this amazing cactus. So this is going on 7 years as well.
Wow.
And Lee didn't even know that I had this. I just showed him
I
now and he was like,
remember.
oh, wow. So it's just such a beautiful memento that we have,
Mm.
from our wedding. And it's just going great guns. Look at that shoot right in the middle there. She's
Yeah.
she's living her best life.
Live a long life, eh?
I know. So things like that just really look to nature. And also with the girls that did the styling for the wedding, they were a small local business, female
Mm.
led, and all of the things that they used for, styling and decoration, they had sourced from thrift stores and from vintage shops. And when they styled the ceremony, they took the pieces from the ceremony and took them to the reception. So there was no, like, additional things that were needed. And then with the flowers that we had left
Mm.
over, they were donated to the local hospital.
Yeah.
So it was like little touches like that that just meant so much to us, and that really kept as much of what we used circular.
Mm.
That was a really nice discovery. And it kind of happened sort of late in the piece. I'd already started to go down the traditional flower route. And then I found this slow florist and I said to Lee, that's it. I'm changing everything with the flowers. And he was like, what? And then I told him and he's like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, we got to
Mm.
do that. And then
Mm.
some of the guests could keep the flowers as well. And
Yeah.
and in the little, like how we styled the bar stools, we had little
Yeah.
nods to your culture. So we had pineapples
Yeah.
and we had, like, was there hibiscus in there? And
Yeah. That's just
yeah,
this.
so we had like little aspects like that as well that leaned into Lee's Polynesian culture. So yeah, lean as much as you can into nature because it's such a nice aspect
Yeah.
to have in there.
Bring the love of nature,
Yeah,
connects you to the earth.
it does. Okay, tip number 4. Say yes to the dress, say less to the dress. So, this was an incredible journey. And
Mm.
I initially was going to thrift my dress. And then I, by chance, went to this sustainable fashion expo. I didn't even know at the time that was a thing, but everything just kept aligning. Like, these things kept popping up before our wedding that was so helpful.
Mm.
So meant to be. So I went to this expo, and that's where I met my dressmaker, Lenka. And she had just been given the first accreditation as a sustainable couture wedding dress designer. I mean, hello, what are the odds? So we got chatting and we just hit it off. And the journey of that was incredible. So she took me down this road of sourcing dead stock. So dead stock, if you don't know, is stock that's designers have deemed as waste or excess that they're not using anymore. So
Mm.
Lenka had found this really expensive wedding dress designer who had all this dead stock. We're talking $500 Italian cotton lace that we got for $50
Wow.
in a little bundle. And then she fit that lace on me piece by piece. So I literally stood there with beer nuts and a Diet Coke for like 3 hours while she just fit it on me piece by piece. And she made it meet in the middle so it kind of looks a little bit like deer horns, very
Mm.
like ethereal forest like. And I was torn between two designs. I wanted full lace, and then I had this other dress that I loved that I think was on Tilda Swinton, I think. I'll try to find a photo for you. And it was just white and really simple, but it had an asymmetrical panel at the front. And she's like, well, why don't we do both? I'm like, perfect, because I can never decide. I'm a Libra and it's always two things. So she did half lace, half plain fabric. And that bottom half is organic silk satin. So she sourced that locally as well. And then she just fit it on me bit by bit, and it was just such a beautiful process. No stress. It
Mm.
was just, it was unreal.
Dying.
Ah, the dyeing, yes. So
Yeah.
my bridesmaids, Lenka helped me with this as well. Natural dyeing, so
Mm-hmm.
leaning into nature again, leaning into plants, leaning into flowers.
Mm.
We actually dyed the bridesmaids' dresses with brown onion skins.
Looks beautiful too.
So beautiful, right?
Mm. They think it was gonna smell, but mm-mm. No siree.
No, because it's the skin, not the flesh. But that was a really common question that we
Mm.
got. Is it going to smell? Um, but no, it created this beautiful. How would you describe the color?
Beautiful golden, like onions. Is exactly when you look
Mm,
at the onions out.
the red
Yeah,
onions. No, the brown onions.
yeah, the brown. Yeah, that
Mm,
chocolatey,
mm,
golden, champagne.
perfect. Yeah, good
Yeah,
description. Peachy, even
peachy.
dirty peachy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, divine. So same fabric as my dress, the silk.
It is.
Thank you. The organic, the organic silk
Yeah.
satin, and just divine. Like, look at what nature can produce. And I had seen dresses in that color and loved it from a fast
Mm.
fashion brand, and there was like no way I was buying that. But I said to Lenka, "This is the color I love." She's like, "Well, this is how we can do it." Amazing. And I've since learned that you can do a similar color with the stones in the avocado. So the stones
Mm.
have tannin
That's
in
right.
them, and when you release them into hot water,
Mm.
this same like glorious kind of coppery, dirty sort of peachy tone comes out. And it's so fun to natural dye. It's such a cool process.
Mm.
I could do another whole video on that, but I'm no expert. I have friends that are, but yeah. So, and then do you want to tell them with your suit? Lee was a bit harder to do sustainably because he's got massive shoulders. This kid,
Mm.
so we just bought you a new suit, but
Good
we've been
job.
reusing that, and I'm
Mm.
actually going to do something cool with the jacket. So stand by for that.
Mm.
But tell them about the traditional thing that you're wearing around your neck.
Yeah, the traditional flowers that from the islands that we decorate the were in the special occasion, like dancing, performing, or yeah, like a wedding or birthdays.
Mm.
Yeah, there are flowers from the trees in the islands. There's so many different plants that can bring out that flower, and that's the red color. It gives off a beautiful scent. And my flower that they were doing by many performed on prepared by many ladies of the church. My mom go to us. They owe to the a gift for me and a gift for the family. So all through our culture. It's also yeah, look to nature. That's what we do in the islands. We owe everything that we wore on the weddings is have to be from nature. Yeah, sustainable.
Absolutely. Yeah. But also, it was cool because it was kind of so different what we were doing with the wedding, even though it's not that different now, really. Like, sustainability is nothing new.
Mm,
But because it was, I guess, different at the time in
yeah.
2017, it ended up on the Today Show.
Mm,
So we did a story about our wedding and how we were doing it. I think they actually called it "Say Less to the Dress." So that's my other tip with dresses. Definitely look in op shops because there are so many that you could have altered, and you'll pay probably like $100, $150 for a stunning dress that, let's face it, it's been worn once.
That's true.
And you could make it your own and it'll still be cheaper than buying it new. So that's my other tip. And also ended up in the Daily Mail. Crazy. Like, I think we just, I like to say that we were kind of one of the first. I don't know. We probably weren't, but still, it was nice to set an example and to, make people think about doing weddings differently. So, yeah.
Mindfulness.
Yeah. So what's our last tip for having a sustainable wedding? There's so many more, but we got to end it somewhere. Otherwise, this video will go on forever.
Yeah.
So what's our
number
last?
5?
Yeah. What is it?
We gotta reuse or reware what we already have.
Yeah.
I think we did that heaps of times.
We have.
Yeah. We wear my wedding shirt.
I've worn Lee's wedding shirt heaps.
Yeah.
He's worn it heaps. I'm going to do something cool to the wedding jacket.
Or wearing shoe.
These shoes. So this was something I invested in. So I bought myself a beautiful pair of Christian Louboutins, red sole. So this was my gift to myself, my wedding gift. And I have lost count how many times I have worn these shoes. They're really comfortable for about 2 hours, and then I need a chair. But as Lee can attest to. But they have really stood the test of time. They're still in really good condition. They probably need a little bit of a clean because they're not as white as they used to be. But I wanted to get a wedding shoe that wasn't super wedding-y, like it had a bit of style and kind of timelessness about it. So I've worn these with ripped jeans. I've worn them with suit jackets and all sorts of stuff. So I feel like, sometimes investment pieces, designer pieces are more sustainable because I've not had to buy another pair of nice high heels. I've had these for 7 years and they're still going strong. And I got the bootmaker to put a special kind of extra sole on the bottom so that they're protected. Yeah. And show them your shoes.
Yeah, Country Road.
That's right. We got them from Country Road.
Still going cool. You wore them heaps of time.
You have. And we've done a couple of shoots, like fun shoots, restyling our wedding outfits. So restyling my dress. I'll put some images on the screen for you. Restyling your suit.
Yeah.
I've worn his suit.
A bit tight on me now.
It's a bit tight now. Yeah.
Need a bigger one.
Yeah. This kid, Maui.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've really tried to, put as much mindfulness around it as we have, as we could. But if you are getting married and you have questions, I'm an open book. I'm happy to guide you. There's also now, because it has become a lot more popular, there's a lot more resources online for sustainable weddings. Even Vogue now talk a lot about sustainable weddings. They highlight brides that have thrifted their dresses, which is amazing to see a big publication like that leaning into that message. But we
7 years later, huh?
Yeah, 7 years later. We were the trendsetters, man.
That's right.
But there's also a great resource I know in Australia called Mindfully Wed. You can actually download their ebook, which is a fantastic resource. So that really helps you kind of get your mind across some of the elements of having a sustainable wedding. And I'm sure now, I haven't checked for a while, but I'm sure now there's even more global resources available on having a sustainable wedding. But it worked for us.
Yeah.
We're still going strong.
Yeah. We're still here.
We're still here.
We're here for the long time and the fun time.
That's right. Amen to that. What do you think the secret is to our marriage?
I think it's supporting each other. Yeah. Not pointing fingers at each other all the time.
Yeah.
It's about relating.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, and support each other in times when one down, one had to pick them up.
So true.
Not kick them in the gut when they're down.
Like today, I've had a bit of an upset tummy, and Lee bought my favorite food.
Yeah. a buck.
A bug for my bug. From my favorite
Yeah,
Japanese restaurant.
yeah.
So, you know, it's just little things like that. Like, and just, I don't know, I feel like we just always make each other a priority, and
Mm.
but we really support each other's dreams as well. Like, I've never had a partner be so supportive of my goals and my dreams, and like, you're so amazing with that. Like, if I'm not pushing myself, he's like, babe, come on, like, you're
Yeah.
awesome, you know. So
Just give them the mic and walk away. Yeah.
and now we've got him on the mic. We'll see. I'm sure you enjoyed having him along today. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Blessing to you all.
Yes.
Aloha and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
And happy anniversary to you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mwah.
All right. Gotta go to the beach.
Okay, let's go.
Bye bye.
See ya. Bye.